My purpose today in this short video is to actually blow your mind. Because in order for you to access higher realities, you're going to have the current mind frame that you hold is going to have to be blown away. I'm going to share with you things that I do not want you to take my word for necessarily. You can. It'll probably save you a lot of research. But if you decide you don't want to because you're like me and you want to research it for yourself, I'm going to provide you with resources for which you can do this, so then you can overcome the hurdle of non-belief and be able to access the realities that I'm trying to relate to you. These realities are very important because they are the crux of conscious creation. They are the crux of magical arts, which are the same thing. And they are the crux of you understanding the totality of the self, which is what you are at the highest level of awareness. First of all, the video that I created yesterday was called Know the Universe, Know Yourself. And if you have not yet viewed that video, I suggest highly that you turn this one off for just a moment. Go to the channel and view the video and then come back to this one. A lot of the information, the physics information that I'm going to share with you comes from sources like Stephen Hawking. I enjoy reading Stephen Hawking because he describes in layman's terms the ramifications of the wonderful things that quantum physicists and theoretical physicists are discovering at this time, in the last decade especially. I also suggest Brian Greene. He is very much the same as Stephen Hawking in that he takes these principles and explains it in a way that you don't necessarily have to be a genius, a mathematician, a quantum physicist to understand what they're saying and how it applies to you. Brian Greene is a professor at Columbia University. He was schooled in Oxford, Harvard, I believe Harvard, I know for sure Oxford. Stephen Hawking has been compared to Albert Einstein. He has been schooled in Oxford and is also one of the leading gurus of quantum physics and theoretical physics and cosmology today. Yesterday on the video, Know Your Universe, Know Yourself, I basically talked about how the universe as we know it is a continuum of energy that begins and ends at a finite infinitesimal point known as the Big Bang, which incidentally is also the point where all energy condenses and is known as what many physicists refer to as the Big Crunch. It's an infinitesimal point where all energy of the universe congeals, melts together in a point so small it can fit at the head of a pin, probably even smaller, and everything is one thing. And at this point of singularity, all the laws of physics break down. Gravity, as I said, the weak, the strong force, electromagnetism, all the forces that govern and rule the laws of this universe are broken down completely. And that's a wonderful thing, because as you will read in The Universe in a Nutshell, is a good resource, as that energy then in the singularity point of the continuum expands again, new laws of physics are able to emerge, and new universes that have original compositions, have original laws, original structures are created. Now, one of the things that I used to comprehend about this Big Bang, Big Crunch thing, because from the perspective of one particular created universe, it appears to be a specific event that begins and ends from our perspective. But from a higher perspective of the continuum of time-space, which actually continuum means just what it says. It's a continuous. It's not a stop-go kind of thing. From that perspective of the continuum, Big Bangs are flowing from one universe to another almost seamless, without stops. It's not like a jump, a universe, a jump, a universe. This point is continually drawing into the singularity, the universe that is coming back into one point, and then emerging at the same time into a new universe. And so universes are being continuously created. And each one is unique. Each one is different maybe in its composition. Probably many are very similar to ours. And one thing you need to know is, as this is taking place, believe it or not, infinite universes are being created, and have been created, and will be created, and are created. And in actuality, which is even more difficult for us to comprehend from our linear, three-dimensional perspective within one of these universes, is that these universes are actually all a simultaneous whole. It's all simultaneously happening, which is incredible. And what this also means is that these infinite, now remember, infinite, we use that word so many times. I'm going to digress. We use the word in our lives, infinite, so many times. But most of the time, we don't stop to comprehend what that word really means. It is not quantifiable. It is not a billion. An infinite number is not a trillion. It's not even 100 trillion. It's infinite. It has no beginning and no end. The Buddhists and the yogis and all of the mystics, the Sufis, the Kabbalists who are mystics, the shamans, all of these mystics will tell you that the ultimate reality is that there are endless possibilities. See, creation is not finite. The continuum creates and is infinite. Okay? So within this continuum, what's happening is every time these new universes are continuously flowing out of it, they are restructuring themselves, and the energy is restructuring, matter is restructuring in its original way. And these universes are all occupying the same place at the same time. Within you, within the same space-time that you see yourself right now, is permeating and embedded within you infinite universes. Trust me, it's true. Infinite universes. Infinite realities. Now the reason why you may not be consciously aware of these infinite realities is because as the energy comes out and forms a particular cluster of like energies, a universe, what we call a universe, a new fabric of space-time is created, and only energy that vibrates on that fabric, on that brain that we talked about, that plane of fabric of space-time, only energy that is connected to that fabric is consciously aware of the other energies that are connected to the same fabric. Okay? Now these fabrics of space-time, these brains, are continuously coming out with energy connected to them, but they all have original laws and original compositions that they're not aware of the others that have flown out before and after, that are part of what they are and embedded within them, because they don't vibrate on the same brain. You and I vibrate on the same brain. We're part of the same universe. Other universes vibrate on different brains, and not probably consciously aware of the other brains. In fact, one of the reasons why physicists cannot see, or it's very difficult to tangibly access these other dimensions or other universes, other brains, whatever you want to call them, is because everything we use, every bit of mechanics, every bit of tools, everything that we have access to in this realm only vibrates on our brain, on our plane, on our space of fabric of what we see as the universe or space-time. So because of that, it's very difficult to become aware of those other dimensions consciously. But they are able to do that through detecting in minute ways the gravitational forces between brains. Now they can detect those minute fluctuations in gravity, which is a verification that these other brains or other planes exist. But that is, at this point, the only way we can detect them.